going on, people? Welcome to Rio's Positive POV, where today I'm going to rank the Twilight movies from Twilight to Breaking Dawn Part 2 and let you know where each one slots on my preference in regards to how much I love the movies. Twilight is a series that I stumbled across by accident. Went to the cinema with a group of friends to watch another movie. What that movie is, I cannot remember, but it was cancelled. Twilight was the only thing showing in the cinema. My mates decided against seeing the movie because it was a teenage vampire love story. Me, I seen Robert Pattinson, loved him in Harry Potter, seen Kristen Stewart, Panic Room with Jodie Foster, what a film. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go check it out. And I'm very, very happy that I did, because I've been a Twihard ever since. Came home that evening, bought the whole book series and read every single one within about a week's time. And I have been a fan of the series ever since, so thought I would let you know how I rank the movies. So let's go with number 5. At number 5 I have New Moon. New Moon was still a great movie. I loved the addition of the werewolves and the dynamic that was created between the werewolves and the vampires. I wasn't the biggest fan of the actual characters themselves, but the animosity between the two different species was definitely something I enjoyed. Taylor Lautner's glow up to play a muscly version of Jacob was just fantastic. Definitely made me want to hit the gym back in 2009 and pick up some serious weights. That all being said, the reason why this ranks as last on my rankings is because of the Cullens being on the bench for most of the movie. I felt like the movie lost a lot from not having those characters on screen, and that is predominantly why New Moon ranks at number 5 on my rankings. At number 4 I have Breaking Dawn Part 1. This movie has some fantastic moments. The character building between Edward and Bella is of course a highlight, and this one was just gorgeous to look at. The wedding scenes were amazing. The cinematography was spot on. The prelude to the wedding with all the white and the blood, one of my favourite scenes in the whole series. I also loved the soundtrack. I thought it was fantastic. For me, this movie was hurt by the book being split into 2 parts. I fully understand why they did it, because there's so much going on in part 2, but I felt like part 1 just didn't have enough going on cinematically to keep me invested the whole time. So that's why Breaking Dawn Part 1 is at number 4 in my rankings. At number 3 I have Eclipse. This one for me was fantastic. The addition of David Slade in a director's chair was a great move. I'm a massive fan of his previous movies, Hard Candy and 30 Days of Night. I thought the aesthetic in this one looked really good. I loved the darker feel. It really added to the seriousness of the movie and the threat that was coming from Victoria and the newborn vampires. I wasn't the biggest fan of the recasting of Victoria. I thought, why would you do that? She's already been in 2 movies, and look, I love Bryce Dallas Howard, but I just felt like it was a little bit of a cheap move to bring her in for a 3rd movie. Wasn't the biggest fan of that, but overall I thoroughly enjoyed Eclipse, and the best scenes for me was the ones on the mountaintop with Bella, Edward and Jacob, and the dynamic between the 3. I thought it really hit its peak during them scenes and was just a joy to watch from start to finish. So Eclipse is number 3 on my ranking. At number 2 I have Breaking Dawn Part 2. I thought this was a fantastic end for the series. It brought us Vampire Bella, which everyone's been waiting for 5 movies and was waiting for 4 books. I thought visually it was fantastic. The music was just absolutely phenomenal in this, and the addition of all the other clans, the other vampires, the nomads, the families that were involved was fantastic. The way it visually showed all of their skills was also fantastic. And for me, it features my favourite scene in the whole series, when Aro is touching Alice and getting a vision from the future. That scene blew my mind the first time I seen it in the cinema, because it completely deviated from the books. It wasn't what I was expecting, and I just thought it was a class touch. Breaking Dawn Part 2 is my second favourite of the series. At number 1, we have the OG, the original Twilight, the one that got me into the series, the one that turned me into a Twihard. This movie, for me, features one of the best soundtracks of all time. I still play that soundtrack to this day, and it got me into a lot of bands that I had never listened to before, and I am forever grateful for that movie for doing that and just introducing me to such fantastic music. In regards to the story, I loved everything about it. Of course, I still watch the movies to this day, and the original Twilight is the reason behind that. I loved the introduction of all the characters. I loved the dynamic between Edward and Bella, and also the dynamic between Edward and Charlie, Bella and Charlie, and just every single character's first interactions I thought were really good. And the threat of the 3 vampires was fantastic as well. So that's why Twilight is my number 1 on my Twilight film ranking. If you've seen the film series and you love it as much as I do, please do hit me up in the comments and let me know how you rank them. I would love to know how you would go about it. I'm Rio, this has been my Twilight ranking. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content. Thank you for watching. Peace out.